Hello everyone, it's Miss Davidson here, the Deputy Head at Hillington Primary School. Thank you for tuning in to our Relationships, Sexual Health and Parenthood virtual workshop for families. The Relationships, Sexual Health and Parenthood programme is a national teaching and learning resource. Parents can access it at the website rshp.scot. Parents will be able to view all lessons for all stages across the school. This information session is about what we do in a part of our health and wellbeing curriculum that we call Relationships, Sexual Health and Parenthood, or RSHP education. Hillington Primary School uses the RSHP materials, a national resource that you can see on the website rshp.scot. Our RSHP curriculum has been in place for some years. It is part of Curriculum for Excellence. The RSHP resource is designed to help us to deliver the existing RSHP curriculum. Prior to using the RSHP resource, we used SHRE at Hillington Primary School, the Sexual Health and Relationships Education resource. The RSHP resource, which has replaced SHRE, has been developed by a partnership of local authorities and health boards with advice from Education Scotland and the Scottish Government. So what is the RSHP resource? Any teacher or early years practitioner can use the resource to support teaching and learning. All content is age and stage appropriate for learners aged between 3 and 18. It's organised by Curriculum for Excellence levels from early level through to the senior phase. In the context of Hillington Primary School, most Primary 1 children are working within early level. Primary 2, Primary 3 and Primary 4 pupils are working within first level, and Primary 5 to 7 pupils are working within second level. The RSHP resource can be used in formal and informal learning settings. Content is up to date and engaging and meets the needs of learners, including those with additional support needs and children with mild to moderate learning disabilities. So why does RSHP matter? The next video will explain why RSHP is an important part of the school curriculum.
RSHP matters because we need to be able to make informed decisions about our relationships.
Relationships in all forms are inevitable and young people will form relationships, so learning about how to build appropriate relationships is crucial to our young people.
Everyone has the right to explore their sexuality and express it, and to experience consensual, safe, healthy relationships free from harm, free from stigma and free from shame. And RSHP is the means by which the adult world can provide the information, the knowledge, support young people to get the confidence to grow into adults.
Probably more than half of what we do isn't just about filling children full of knowledge for different subjects. What we want is all of the pupils to be leaving school confident, compassionate, be informed. We want them to be able to leave school and make really positive choices in their future.
It's just as important as them learning English and maths. It covers not only reproduction and the sex side of things, it covers parenthood and relationships and feelings, and it's going to help them learn about the world that they're growing up in.
A lot of our young people do have some misconceptions of what a healthy relationship should look like, and I think it's so important for them to have positive role models, but also somebody to discuss things with if things aren't as they should be, or they're worried about anything in their relationships.
We know that children conduct their relationships more and more online, and so we have to help our young people negotiate that world.
The media influences nowadays, I always think, is like the wallpaper to children's life. It's everywhere, and if we don't explain to them what this means to them, then they pick up their own ideas around about it.
We're now at a point where we have decades of international evidence which demonstrates that if you provide relationships, sexual health and parenthood education through schools and supported by learning at home from parents and carers, then the outcomes for young people are much better. If we really want young people to be safe, to be nurtured, to be healthy, to be respected, to be included, then providing good quality RSHP is certainly one of the means that can achieve that.
The RSHP resource can be found on the website referenced throughout this presentation. The resource itself is made up of a series of activity plans that describe how a teacher can approach an aspect of RSHP education. The activity plans are supported by PowerPoints and other resources that lessons may need. Parents can access all of these through the website. There is information for parents and carers, ideas about communicating between school and home, reading lists for school libraries, and reading lists for at home. The resource is accessible and open to everyone. Parents and carers can see what is being delivered in school at any time. The resource was developed by a partnership of local authorities and health boards, with advice from Education Scotland and the Scottish Government. We know this resource is targeted and is age and stage appropriate. So why has this resource been developed? Like anything in education, we need to move with the times to ensure that we are meeting the needs of our learners. Learners had identified inconsistencies and gaps in the delivery and quality of RSHP education in numerous consultations and engagement exercises, research studies and evaluations. The RSHP resource was developed as a result of an identified need for RSHP education to be fully modernised, a recommendation of the Scottish Parliament's Education and Skills Committee in their report Let's Talk About Personal and Social Education. There is a need to improve the quality, relevance, consistency and coverage of RSHP education across educational establishments. We need to deliver RSHP education that helps protect children and young people from harm and supports them to understand that friendships and personal relationships should be healthy, happy and safe. The resource helps teachers to source material that is age and stage appropriate so that they can focus on building relationships with learners. We need our RSHP education to reflect a modern and inclusive Scotland where we value and respect the human rights of everyone. A question we are often asked by parents and carers is whether or not the RSHP resource is age and stage appropriate. The next video aims to answer that question for you.
As the children grow and mature, this resource grows and matures with them, so it's so appropriate for where they are in their life.
We are guided by Curriculum for Excellence, and that already organises learning across different levels, from early level, which would be preschool, primary 1, all the way through to the different levels for young people who would be in 4th year and older or in college.
The resource is very age and stage appropriate for nursery children because at this age it's just the basics.
So I think kind of starting at this age and kind of introducing it now just means that they'll be able to take it in easy, and it's not a case of us trying to kind of throw all this information at them.
1 in 5 learners in Scotland's schools has an additional support need, and they are all going to be very different. What we have done, we think, is provided a set of resources that educator, the teacher, can use, adapt to their circumstances as they feel necessary, but starts with the very basic premise that all of these children have a right to an RSHP education.
It gives them learning activities, factual information in a progressive and coherent manner. We've never had that before.
I think the resource is really, really good. It gives great sort of video interactions as well as handouts that do tend to be age and stage appropriate as well.
We can personalise any of the resources to ensure that anything that is current for our young people is able to be changed. It's been fantastic having these resources, and yes, they're absolutely age and stage appropriate.
Let's have a look now at the curriculum content of the RSHP resource. Most children in primary 1 are working within early level. When it comes to families and friendships, children learn that all families are different and that people who are important to the children provide care and love. The children learn how to make and keep friendships, thinking about how they get along with other children, play together, cooperate and share. This can include learning about personal space and to recognise and respect how other people feel. They also learn about the importance of kindness and showing kindness to others, something that is reinforced through our Health and Wellbeing Paths programme. When it comes to every child being unique and special, children learn that people are individual and unique, about the similarities and differences among children in their group, to understand that treating someone badly based on difference is not okay. When it comes to their bodies, children learn about names for the parts of their body and the parts of their body that are private. They learn about keeping clean and why this is important, learning about hand washing and brushing teeth. When it comes to feelings and making choices, children learn to recognise and express their feelings, including when they may feel safe or unsafe, happy or worried. To identify adults that they go to if they have a question or a worry, introducing the idea of trust, again something that is reinforced through our PASS programme. When it comes to looking after them and other living things, children learn about where living things come from, the needs of plants, animals and babies, that there are professional people who can help and care for them. Further information about the early level RSHP resource is available on the website. Moving on to first level. When it comes to relationships, children learn about what makes them unique, families and how all families are different, the different adults who may care for children like teachers, support staff in school, making and having friends, being a boy and a girl and that they can be any kind of boy or girl they want to be, what makes people alike and what makes us different, diversity, respect for others and the importance of being kind. When it comes to growing up and their body, children learn about making choices and decisions, looking after their body and keeping clean, how their bodies change as they grow, names of the parts of their body and names for private body parts. We use the words penis, vulva, bottom and nipples. Parts of their body that are private, other people should not touch private parts of their body, and what behaviour is okay in public and what is okay in private. For example, pulling pants up before leaving the bathroom. When it comes to how human life begins, pregnancy and birth, children learn about the life cycles of plants and animals, how a baby is made, conception, pregnancy and how a baby is born, and what a baby needs and how to care for a baby. Children in primary 2, 3 and 4 are working at first level. Further information about the RSHP resource for first level can be found on the website. Children in primary 5 to 7 are working at second level. When it comes to relationships, children learn about what makes them unique and what makes people alike and makes us different, diversity. They learn about making and having friends, being a boy and a girl, and that they can be any kind of boy or girl they want to be. They learn about loving relationships and being attracted to others. And they learn about respect for others and the importance of being kind in our face-to-face relationships and online. When it comes to being safe, children learn about social media and being safe and smart online. Feeling safe and unsafe, different kinds of abuse and neglect that can happen to a child. They learn about what we mean about consent and who they can go to for help and support. When it comes to growing up and learning about their body, children learn about making choices and decisions, looking after their body and keeping clean, puberty and how the bodies and emotions of both boys and girls change as they grow, and they learn about what having sex is and about contraception and condoms. When it comes to conception, pregnancy, birth and being a parent or carer, children learn about how a baby is made, conception, pregnancy and how a baby is born, and being a parent and thinking about what kind of parent they would be. Further information about the RSHP resource at second level is available on the website. RSHP education does not stop at primary 7. It continues well into secondary school. At third and fourth level, when it comes to relationships, young people learn about loving relationships and being attracted to others. They learn about making relationships work and respect for others and the importance of being kind in our face-to-face relationships and online. When it comes to being safe, young people continue to learn about social media and being safe and smart online. They learn about what is meant by consent, abuse in adult relationships considering grooming, sexual exploitation, partner control, coercion and violence. They learn about pornography and what it is and what harm it does. They learn about sexually transmitted infections, and they also learn about who they can go to for help and support, including sexual health services. When it comes to growing up and learning about their body, young people learn about puberty and how their bodies and emotions change as they grow. This includes menstruation, periods, and masturbation. When it comes to emotional well-being, young people learn about feeling emotional, looking after themselves and others, body image and the pressures on young people. When it comes to gender, young people learn about gender stereotypes, equality, that they can be any kind of boy or girl they want to be, feminism and sexual harassment. When it comes to being a parent or carer, young people learn about being a parent and thinking about what kind of parent they would be, how having a baby changes the parent's life, and important things about child development, including the importance of nurture and play for babies and children. It's natural for parents and carers to have questions about RSHP education and RSHP education in our school. Some common questions include: why do children learn to use the correct words for parts of their body? Why does the RSHP resource have learning about having sex in the primary school years, and how is this done? Why does the RSHP resource have learning about abuse in the primary school years, and how is this done? Why and how does the RSHP resource help children and young people learn about sex and gender equality? Why and how does the RSHP resource help children and young people to learn about consent? And why and how does the RSHP resource help young people to learn about pornography? These are all questions that are answered on the Frequently Asked Questions page on the RSHP website. If you have any further questions about RSHP education or RSHP education at Hillington Primary School, please contact myself, Miss Davidson, the Deputy Head for Primary 1 to Primary 5-4 in the first instance, or Mr Ramsey, the Deputy Head for Primary 5 to 7. It is vital that we meet the needs of our learners, and it's important that we listen to what children and young people want from their RSHP education. The next video will highlight what children and young people want from their RSHP education.
Children and young people have told us that RSHP really matters to them, and they have been in various consultation exercises, various bits of research, frustrated by some of the RSHP that they've received in the past. We have a perfect opportunity to start to get RSHP right now for all children and young people.
When we spoke with the young people, they felt that some of the materials were outdated and that they wanted a modern and progressive programme that reflected equality and diversity. We wanted to ensure that young people had a wide-ranging and modern experience with the materials.
We don't receive this education at home. I definitely prefer to learn it in school. It stops the awkward conversations you can sometimes have with parents, and it's just a lot more comfortable.
Young people want it to be like a real subject, and so RSHP is best delivered by the teachers that they already have an existing relationship with.
Our teacher is really open about all the topics we talk about, and if we don't know anything or he doesn't know the answer, he'll always find out and come back to us with it.
Children want this knowledge. They're just sponges, they absorb everything, and they deserve to get the best knowledge they can possibly get.
What they also tell us is that schools often don't make enough time for this. It gets a bit squeezed out. It's maybe not considered a serious topic. And so really the message to adults is, please give us more of this, please make it better quality, and please do it more regularly because we're interested.
All families have been provided with an information leaflet about the RSHP education for their child at their stage. We would encourage all families to look at the RSHP website and explore it a little further in your own time so that you fully understand the RSHP education that is being delivered to your child in their class. There is lots of information on the RSHP website about how parents and carers can support this education at home. Across the resource and in our school approach to RSHP education, there is an acknowledgement that parents and carers are the primary educators of their children. In delivering RSHP education, families will be given advanced knowledge of topics and lessons. By learning together at home and in school, we can help to consolidate learning. It's a partnership approach to learning. We want to work in partnership with families to ensure we are meeting the needs of our children and that they experience the best teaching and learning experiences possible. We want to ensure our approach to RSHP is consistent in school and at home, and the website is there to support families to do so. Let's take a closer look at what the role of parents and carers is in RSHP education.
Parents and carers play a huge role in children's RSHP. They're the constant in their life. They're not going to change the way a teacher is going to change. So they're their first and most important educator around about this.
What happens in the home is absolutely fundamental. What we've done with the RSHP resource is provide clear links with the learning at school to learning at home.
As a nursery, we hold information evenings where all this information can be passed on to parents. This allows us to take part in discussions with them and maybe ease any concerns that they may have over the education.
One of the benefits of this resource is the fact that you can access it online. So you can access it at home. Children can come home and if they're talking about something they've learnt about, you as a parent can actually go online and find out what they've learnt about. And there's a wide range of things out there online that our children are learning, and pornography is a big part of that. We need to get ahead of it as parents, and we need to trust our teachers to protect our children and educate them of what's out there.
I've got a teenage son. And, I know I've got a responsibility to talk about some of these things with him, but I find that quite difficult to sometimes know how to broach a particular subject without it being hugely embarrassing and a nightmare for both of us.
I know it's difficult to start a conversation with young people in regards to this, but if they do have any questions and they're not sure of the answer, speaking to professionals like the guidance staff to get the support and advice, because nobody knows it all, and certainly as a parent that can be quite daunting to discuss it. So I think their responsibility is, if they don't know, to ask so that they can inform pupils appropriately.
Further resource videos, some of which are shown in this presentation, can be found at the link at the bottom of this page. The RSHP website is full of useful information for families, and as outlined previously, everything that the children are taught in school is fully accessible by families at home. If you have any further questions about the RSHP resource, the Frequently Asked Questions section on the site may be of help. If not, please feel free to contact a member of the senior leadership team at Hillington Primary for more information. Thank you.